What happens when you do not fear inadequacy of being yourself? As a 5D mystic, polyamory, enlightenment, soul age person, let's talk about that. Because, see, enlightenment is not a flat-lined person. 5D mystic is also something that is not always acceptable, and well, polyamory, we all know about that one. So for some of us, we have twin flame and flames and soulmates. And for some of us, we also know no fear of inadequacy. Why? Well, here's the deal. Your host and your mentor for the one-to-one mentorship and our lovely eventual masterclass peeps has this thing called I'm an inner child, and I have a 1-year-old and she has no shame, and a 3-year-old. I did not get disrupted from this lovely capacity to channel and be a part of the infinite sphere of consciousness, which is love, the essence of love in life. And that is because my lovely primary caregiver and we got to keep building a relationship where my first 3 years of life, that's all implicit memory. I'm gooey, ooey, ooey. And so I don't fear inadequacy. I also have a twin, and I got to have ruptures and repairs. And so I know no inadequacy. I know how we can always work it out. We can work it out. We can work it out. But I also know how to accept that my thoughts and feelings as a differentiated self. And true spirituality, by the way, is a life of meaning and connection beyond the soul self. So at IHP, for those who want to continue to become their true spirituality, awakened 5D mystic, or a person who is awakened to your humanity, it's called your restorative embodiment, self-aware life. You get to do personal development and self-help because emotions will keep coming up when uncertainty, unexpected, and unwanted come around. So to maintain the authentic self of you, but see, that's where you will be motivated if you want to do emotions deeply. Meantime, let me continue with our fear of inadequacy when it's absent completely. So we do not have this rigidity towards our loved ones when they don't like how we express ourselves. And that involves, for example, in a monoamory community, we all know what they think of polyamory individuals. So we take flight independently from those who are outside of our nest, and that would be the welcoming and the non-welcoming people of our earthly home. Okay, so when in Jessica Fern's book, I found out that there are people who are polyamorous who take offense and are upset at their friends and family not wanting them to be around. I have no fear of inadequacy. I'm like, what's the big deal? Okay, and so this thing about fear of inadequacy, it comes around the social system turns online, societal or social system as an adolescent. So the first 8 years of your life, we have our attachment system. Leading the way by your 11 or 12 years, you have the social system. I'm attachment trauma informed. And that is where I learned that all of the adolescents that I met were not in any way, shape, or form anyone that I would look up to or straight at in the sense of, you know, more. They were all completely in like Cusco, okay? And so I learned how adolescents are Cusco, which I learned means they don't have integrity. Even if they list to me, you know, their morality code. So monoamory, women who are married, women who will judge me, and men too, by the way. So between women and men, it doesn't matter. They both equally, in different ways, will, I'm not going to say it's insulting, because see, that's the point. If somebody wants to label me an evil bitch, an evil witch, a whore, is something of the lines of, I mean, it is what it is. I feel bad that they don't know of being able to, one, just accept differences, and that loving more than one person is something possible, and that they don't live inside of, you know, my body or my mind or my brain, right? Okay, so that's why I found it not humorous in the sense of laughing about people who are upset at being rejected. I found it, why would you be upset? You just found out that people don't love you for who you are. That means they don't love you. Because you being polyamory or being a mystic or being in the, again, enlightenment soul age group, and I'm using the enlightenment soul age group for those of you who want to know what it is, it's called you being equanimous. It's called you knowing how to use your emotional plane in the absence of projecting. And so people will consistently, as long as they have fear of inadequacy, as adolescents, they didn't learn to maintain their heart body and belly body, so they didn't maintain their own integrity. Yes, you will see Cuscos out there with their embodied brains because they don't know how to be their self authentically. I do. It's Maria, the name. And my clairs are here, and it doesn't make me more special. It doesn't make me less special. It doesn't mean anything. It's that I'm going to share with you, like I do on our episodes, who I am. And so whenever somebody has a word to tell me about who I am, I'm a 3-year-old who can hear them because there's no shame button here. There's an open-hearted 3-year-old who says, I know what it means to have the capacity to like to play life in a different way. That's because I also got disowned by my twin at my 8 years of age. And that I remember. And then I got explained that you can't get disowned and that we're all different. And different doesn't mean better or worse. So emotions, see, they're the reflection of the depths of you, but you don't ever get to do it alone when you have a herd. I have my lovely caregiver. So the silence that I got to get, and whenever somebody has also done silent treatment, which has happened, I learn how to use my lovely brain, and that's where integration of the brain comes into the mix. And so with that, integration is your inner and outer well-being because it's you in a physiological state of compassion. And then it's you using your prefrontal cortex, and that's why the restorative embodiment self, you get here by doing personal development and self-help if you want. Spiritually awakening is something you begin from the day you are pretty much born. And then if you get clairs at a certain point, there are those who, because their family didn't welcome them, they actually don't continue with their clairs. And that's a whole other side note. And that's where, when I got to hear these stories, it was clear to me that they were in the codependent type, because we got blamers who will feel helpless and hopeless in a certain way. And then we got martyrs and superiors, and they will feel that they know everything and that they're always picking up the work. So there's a way that those who are within a 0-1-year-old who feels inadequate because mommy, daddy, and mommy, daddy don't, for that first 8 years, again, you're a child. So being able to take those child charged parts and to welcome them is you witnessing your inner world and then saying, oh, these are emotions, they're mine. You process them with neutrality and duality, because otherwise you're not going to say, I'm able to see you, hug you, activate my ventral vagal, which is going to be processing. So I have the sensations, images come up. I'm able to be in my prefrontal cortex. I write. Journaling is important for this reason, and mindfulness meditation is also important for this, because those are what 3 pillars of the mind. So integration comes because you will process the solo self, your body, things that come up, and then the narrative and the relational self and your core self with love, the kind intention, and not the shame. And so here's where I automatically do all of this. And so at my 44 years of age, with twin flames, they're beautiful. We have had our different stories, not sagas. Soulmates, different stories, not sagas. And so when people say, you can't love more than one person, yes, I can. I do. No, you can't have clairs. I do. I don't like you. You know, they don't tell you that. So people who have integrity will welcome all. People who have Cusco attitude, they just go behind your back and they don't speak in your face, and that's okay. We don't fear inadequacy of people who are essentially not Pachas. Because, you know, Pacha shakes a hand, he says, I love you, he means it. And the people who are functional adults, we love all people. So at IHP, we welcome functional adults. We are self-aware, self-accountable, we regulate. We build our relationships, and we don't tease people in a way of dismissing them. We tease each other because nobody has a chip on their shoulder. So it's okay to call us whores and sluts and all that. Teasing. We'll know if you're not, but we probably won't say anything anyways because we're like, well, we'll leave it alone. Cusco doesn't know any better about Pachas anyways. And what I really want to say is that any person who knows sense of self-worth and relies on it, that's why. No fear of inadequacy about being yourself. It's called unconditionally loving who you are with flaws and imperfections, and also who others are. So we accept, respect, and all people have moods and emotions. And good therapists help the ones who want to get over here and be functional adults with us, and then we can continue doing personal development. Healing trauma, one person and relationship at a time, and then all together. Safe haven, secure base. This is what secure attachment and unconditional love is all about. I look forward to seeing you and welcoming you all. Have a great day.